Hello, Tiffany here with Cars Crafty Creations. Today's project is for Pajama Crafters stamps, and I'm going to be creating this really cute and simple home decor piece. I'm going to be using their newly released All-American Girl stamp set as well as their vintage Americana pattern paper. I thought that these two worked together perfectly, and so I wanted to use them together. So when I did get this stamp set, I did color her already. She's colored in Copic markers, and then I added some fine detail with my fine liner pens and white gel pen. But when I saw this character in this stamp set, my mind automatically went to Stranger Things. Lady Applejack is one of the characters in there. It's Erica's D&D character. And I was just inspired by that character to color this image. So that's what inspired the color scheme to the coloring. So what I did was, after I colored her and I picked out my mixed media pieces, I wanted to add some of this vintage America kind of imagery to go along with the character, and I picture her as kind of like a American symbol during like the 4th of July. So I pulled stuff from my stash, which is some fireworks stickers and some stars and stuff like that. So I just decided I was going to use this We the People pattern paper from the collection. I had thought about using that blue, cream, and red burst, but I wanted something a little more subtle so that she is actually more of the focal point to this project. So I'm just going to cut her out, and then for the bottom, because I'm going to have her popped up on the cutting board, I'm going to actually use that same circle die. It's actually it's not stitched, but it does have some decorative edge on it. And I'm going to use that same die to cut the bottom where her feet are so that it rounds in the same kind of roundness, I guess is the word, to match the cutting board. And then I wanted to add some other stuff to the cutting board, which I'm going to use some twine for my stash. This is pretty old. It's from the Dollar Tree, but what's neat about it is that it's blue and craft colored twine, so it kind of goes along with our vintage style theme we're going for here. And so I'm just going to wrap that around a couple times. I use Fabri-Tac. I use that a lot when I'm lazy and don't want to get out my glue gun, just to be honest, but it does work on a lot of mediums. So, and it is quick drying, so it's kind of a good little glue to have on hand in your workspace. It's clear, for one, it dries quickly, and it adheres a lot of different mediums, even though it says Fabri-Tac. I did use it on some glass, and so far my glass is holding up. It is still adhered to it, so it does work on a lot of different surfaces. So I'm just going to wrap that around there, and then I'm actually going to pop her up so that the round part where her feet are is actually on the edge of the cutting board instead of recessed in, because this cutting board has a recess in it. That way I can pop her up and she'll be level with the curvature of the board, but also giving her some dimension against that pattern paper. I was a little bummed that she covered up a lot of the pattern paper, but I mean, it's really for essence of America anyway, so it's a good, you can still see it in real life because you can angle it in different ways, but I did still like that I used this paper to go with the project. And I'm just using some foam squares from my stash, and then we're gonna pop her up. After that, I'm going to add in some of the fireworks stickers. They're stickers, but I only take the backing off some of them, and the rest of them I just leave it on and I glue it to the board as well. I didn't really like that they had a big edge to them, so I do end up cutting that down also so that it's not so much clear edge around them. But we'll go ahead and pop her up here and glue on the bottom part so that it'll glue to the actual board. So that's what we're gonna do with her. I think she came out so nice. She was really fun to color, and all the different shades and hues that you could use. I was even trying to think of how to color her like more vintage and also more fun. So I have a card that I made. You can check it out on Pajama Crafter Stamps website. Under this stamp there's inspiration photos, and I did color her as like a redheaded little girl with some leggings on instead of it being shorts with like your skin showing. I did it as shorts with leggings, so that was kind of also a different way you can color this image. Even I saw one of the other team members did like a gray color on the glasses and turned them into sunglasses. So there's a lot of versatility with this stamp set, even though it is like the American flag, which is, you know, specifically themed, but you can color it in many different ways. So I think that's just kind of fun and universal to the stamp set. So I'm going to glue these on. I'm using the Fabri-Tac glue again because it's clear and it's going to glue down quickly. And then I'm going to adhere some of these to the back. I think just this one I adhere to the background. But I really like how this project came out. I think it's really cute. I think it's very patriotic. I think it'd make a great home decor piece. But if you head on over to Pajama Crafter Stamps website, they actually have a lot of photos of inspiration using this stamp set. And if you check out their YouTube videos, there's also some videos on there of projects that were created using her as the character in the project. So I encourage you all to go over to Pajama Crafter Stamps and check it out and see all the other inspiring stamp sets that they have in this release. I have a few more projects coming out with the May release, and I think they're going to be really fun. And check out the YouTube channel because there's a lot of, even just not necessarily the new release product, but even older product that is getting used currently also to continue to bring inspiration to all you guys, all you creators out there. So like I said, I didn't really like that there was so much extra sticker, so I'm just cutting it off. That way it's, I don't know, I just didn't like it. It's like when you have like stickers that have white around them and stuff like that, it's sometimes too big. So I end up cutting that down too. I like to have my white borders kind of thin, just a little hint of white border. And then I had this sentiment that was stamped already, and yes, it's like on almost kind of a scrap paper, but I just tuck it behind her. No big deal. You can use it still. You just find a way to hide the miscut on it, and it serves its purpose of shining bright, which is fitting for all the fireworks going off and stuff like that. So I hope that you enjoyed this project, and if you did, please like and subscribe. And is this something that you would create yourself? Do you like this project? Is it inspiring to you? What else would you like to see created with these stamp sets? I'd like to hear what your thoughts are, so please leave them in the comments below. And then head on over, like I said, to Pajama Crafters Stamps and check out all the fun things they have. They have lots of pattern paper that coincide with many stamp sets, so it's very universal. I end up using their pattern paper on different stamp sets, even though they don't go together, but they do coordinate together. So check it out, and I hope you enjoyed the project, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!